Go and look at the videos if you are lazy to read. Go and look at the videos of the people who were with Zuma from the beginning, from when he was accused of rape, from when we made him president. I even dropped a thier at the Union Building, and then subsequently we didn't support him. We're saying Kgalema must be president and all of that. Look at all those people who supported Zuma under those circumstances. Not a single one of them is still with Zuma. So once he uses you, he throws you very far. But there is one person who's always by Zuma, and Zuma has never dropped this person. It's the daughter, Duduzile Zuma.
Yeah.
So most of you guys have seen one of the biggest trending stories the last couple of days has been the tweets that Duduzile Zuma, what she said about Floyd Shivhambu, the Secretary General of the MKP Party, called him the worst thing that has ever happened to the MKP, called him a mafigizol, the newbie, just arrived yesterday, parachuted into this position of Secretary General. Doesn't deserve to be there, according to Duduzile Zuma. And he goes on to say, tell your minions to F off, Floyd, and F you as well, while we're still at it there. And the disrespect, the humiliation that Floyd Shivhambu has to endure at the hands of Duduzile Zuma, it's appalling, it's crazy. Think about it, what Floyd left the EFF. You may call Julius Malema so many things, but I don't remember an occasion whereby Julius Malema came in public and humiliated Floyd Shivhambu like that. But there he is, Floyd Shivhambu, willing to endure the humiliation that Duduzile is dishing out. And the truth has to be told as well that there is this sense within the MKP party that Floyd Shivhambu is not respected. And also it's going to be difficult. There is a tribalism issue or element within the MKP party. Floyd originally coming from Limpopo and having to come into KZN, a very traditional base, Zulu base, coming there to lead the structures of, or to lead this party as a Secretary General in KZN is always going to be a hard ask for anybody else, let alone Floyd Shivhambu. So MKP sent out the media statement to ask Duduzile to apologize for what she said, using profanity and all these things. And eventually she did. Later in the day, she did apologize for what she said and the profanity that she used, and to bring the party into disrepute. But here's a unique thing. There's something that is very, very unique about how she apologized. She apologized to her dad, who's the president of the party, other structures within the party itself, but not specifically to Floyd Shivhambu. And I know the reason she did that, she didn't omit that by mistake. It's simply because she truly believes what she says. And there are a lot of people who are supporting her in this quest of removing Floyd Shivhambu as the Secretary General. I don't see Floyd Shivhambu really stay in that position for a very, very long time. I don't know what's going to happen in 2029 elections. And particularly if they don't do well in the 2026 elections, most of the blame he's going to have to shoulder that, if you think about it, because he's in charge of the structure within the MKP party. But I think one of the most important reasons as to why nothing will happen to Duduzile, even if she doesn't apologize to Floyd, is simply because Jacob Zuma owes so much of his life towards Duduzile Zuma. And you may ask, how is it possible that Jacob Zuma owes so much to Duduzile Zuma? Think about that time when Thabo Mbeki removed Jacob Zuma as a deputy president of the country because of the corruption allegations. And soon after that, Jacob Zuma was accused of raping a Kwezi. And there he was on his knees, in essence, fighting for his life, let alone his political life. I don't know, most of you guys, if you remember, who was the star witness for Jacob Zuma in that case. The star witness for Jacob Zuma in that case was Duduzile Zuma. The court found her evidence credible, that there was no way that Jacob Zuma could have raped Kwezi, that this thing, very likely it was consensual. And Duduzile Zuma help Jacob Zuma get out of jail. And I can see why Jacob Zuma has got a soft spot for her. And Duduzile Zuma knows that. Not only because Jacob Zuma is a father and all of that, a daughter and a father relationship, but because she came in at the right moment. And since from that point in time, Jacob Zuma's star continued to be on the rise. And there's no doubt in my mind that Jacob Zuma will always look back on that moment. Think about it. It's very humiliating for any father to conduct yourself the way Jacob Zuma has conducted himself with regard to having a sexual relationship with a niece of his in Kwezi. And he did that in the house where his daughter was in there as well. And you can imagine that if you are able to behave like that in front of your daughter, there is no way that you can be held to the highest of standards morally, you know. And again, having to ask your daughter to come and testify for you, you know, to put your daughter in that position, your child, you're supposed to be responsible as a father and show example of somebody with high moral standards. Over Jacob Zuma doesn't. It's not one of his strengths when it comes to high moral standards. But the reason Duduzile Zuma will always get away with anything in the MKP party is simply because Jacob Zuma owes his life to Duduzile Zuma. It's partly because it's his daughter and all of that, but partly I believe this to be true, that Duduzile, Jacob Zuma owes much of his life, let alone his political life, to Duduzile Zuma. So let me know what you think about this. I truly believe this. I truly and honestly believe this, that Jacob Zuma is beholden to his daughter, and she knows it as well. Hence, she can wreak havoc within the party and nothing will happen to her. So let me know what you think about it. You agree, disagree, and why do you disagree if you disagree as well. Thanks again for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next video again. Thank you. Bye-bye.